40, you're gonna want kids. Stop saying y'all don't want kids. That's a damn lie.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're going to be looking at why women have decided to be child free. Now I saw a video where a guy said 8 out of 10 women unintentionally became childless or are unintentionally deciding to be child free. And there are a lot of people that have their reasons for deciding to be child free. So in this video we are going to look at women who have decided to be child free and why they decided that. So let's check out these videos from women who have decided to be child free, and then I will come back to discuss the reasons and why I don't understand why people are so concerned with other people's decision to either procreate or not procreate. And I will also talk about my own decision, whether I want to be child free or I want to have children. So let's check out these videos and then I'll come back to discuss the whole thing. So let's check out these videos.
8 out of 10 women who are childless didn't intend to be childless. It's called involuntary childlessness. Around about 10% of women are physically incapable of having kids for a variety of reasons. 10% said that they actually didn't intend to have children, and that leaves a whopping 4 out of 5 who didn't have children due to life circumstances. That's the most common reason for it, and the most common life circumstance is leaving it too late to find a partner and then have kids. You break through that fertility window on the other side. These women who get into their 40s, who always intended to have a family, who realize that they now can't, they go to support groups, and these women are grieving for families that they never had, which is just brutal. Like, to think that you can grieve for something that didn't occur.
Report shows that by 2030, 45% of working women ages 25 to 45 will be non-married, no kids. And you might say, well, what's wrong with that? If you think that you're going to be 45 years old, no kids, not married, and that you're going to genuinely be fulfilled in life because you made money.
So who's going to tell them? Who's going to tell them that a lot more women are embracing the rich auntie lifestyle because they're tired of men and their weaponized incompetence? I know some men think that it should be the honor of your life to marry them and take care of them like a child, cook for them, clean for them, do the laundry, all of that, take care of them and their offspring. That's the honor of your life. That's the reason you were created. Like, now your life has meaning. It's all projection. They're the ones who are afraid of growing old and dying alone. But they'll try to tell you that, no, that's what you're afraid of. How could you possibly be happy with all that money? To travel, to see the world with? It's not like, as a single woman, she still couldn't entertain a man if she wants. She doesn't have to marry one. She doesn't have to have a kid with one. She can just entertain one, go on some random dates if that's what she wants. Like, we realize that with the marriage comes a lot of responsibility for her. She is expected to do so much. And a lot of these women these days would rather take on 100% of the financial responsibility, 100% of the domestic skills in a house, rather than do it for you and get nothing in return for it. Because you still want her to pay bills. So she's single, in her 30s or 40s, unmarried, child-free, with lots and lots of money to do whatever she wants to do with, nobody to answer to, no responsibilities to anyone except herself. It kind of sounds like you're threatening these women with a good time to me.
For some reason, when a woman says that she does not want children, people's first instinct is to convince her to have them anyway. So I've compiled a list of the stupid shit that people say to women that do not desire motherhood. Number 1 is, you must be selfish. Now, I'm not offended by this one because being selfish is not always a bad thing in my opinion. But it is bullshit because being a parent does not make you inherently less selfish. Y'all be at work expecting to get first dibs on vacations over your childless coworkers just because you have children. Selfish. Number 2 is, what about your legacy? Personally, what I care about leaving behind when I'm burning in hell like user Jesus_love said I'd be is an impact on my community, not a kid. And legacies are overrated anyway, because what if despite all my hard work, my child ended up being Candace Owens? 3 is, children are a blessing. While I consider children to be one of the most beautiful parts of this shitty society, I need parents to realize that they are not blessings to everyone. The whole reason I don't want a kid is because the cons far outweigh the pros for me. Number 4, Who will take care of you when you're old? Some parents better hope their children decide to take care of them. Some of y'all are going to a nursing home with bed bugs. And isn't it a bit and selfish to frame your child's existence around what benefit they'll provide you in the future? Number 5, just give it a try. This one is horrific, and it's a true testament of how many people, even parents, do not see children as human beings. Kids are not some 30-day trial that you can quit if you don't like it, and it is much better to regret not having a child than having one. I hate this one for far more reasons than I have time for. It's horrifically invalidating to non-cis women and even cis women that can't have children. And yes, I have certain reproductive organs, but it's also my choice whether I want to use them. I wasn't created to do nothing but curse, yell, and eat. And number 7 is any reason, because it is very unhinged to hear somebody clearly express that they don't want kids and to tell them to have them anyway. Why do y'all want kids to have unwilling parents?
Please tell me what your life is like.
I often get in shit on TikTok for saying, like, this is how a child-free person does XYZ, or this is the day in the life of a child-free person. People are like, why do you need to put in there that you're child-free? What difference does it make? And the reason I do that is because I want women like the person who I'm stitching to see what a life without children can look like. I'm 39 and I'm child-free. And my experience of being child-free was that when my partner decided that he wanted to have children, we'd been together for 5 years and he actually left our relationship. So I had to decide very sure that I was willing to let my partner go in exchange for living a child-free life. I really loved my partner a lot. And a lot of people were telling me that it was crazy to let him go and not just have a baby with him. I knew in my heart and in my gut that I didn't want to be a parent, but after we separated, it was really hard for me to visualize what my life would look like. I could see what my life would look like if he and I had stayed together. I would be with him and we'd have like a house and a baby and a family and like great in-laws and a white picket fence, the whole thing. But because we are never shown examples in media or pop culture about what it looks like to be a woman who doesn't have children, I had no idea what my life would look like if I didn't go down the path that everyone expected me to go down. It felt really lonely and strange. And I had to go seek out other women who had also made that choice. So that's why I always say in my videos, this is what the day in the life of a child-free artist looks like, because I want women who don't want to have kids to have an example of what your life can look like.
40, you're going to want kids. Stop saying y'all don't want kids. That's a damn lie.
Have you considered that some men don't want to have children? They just want to make children. They don't want to raise them, but they want their child to carry his last name. True. Some men only have children because they'll have a built-in maid, cook, house cleaner, shopper. But have you also considered that some women don't want to have children because they fear a lack of support, being high risk for postpartum depression, fear of not being able to recover mentally or physically because of the changes incurred by pregnancy? Having a child isn't a game at all.
When I tell people I don't want to have kids or I don't want to be married, and they tell me, oh, no, you're going to change your mind. You're going to meet a guy and you're going to change your mind on those decisions. I always ask them, do you think I'm stupid? And then they'll try to save themselves with some bullshit of, no, it just takes the right one. Da, da, da. But I love to follow up that conversation with, am I stupid? Because you must think I'm stupid to be 28 years old and have been making decisions up until this point in my life that have got me here. But that one really big decision of having a kid or being married, I don't know about that. I don't know myself that much. Or you're telling me that that decision is actually not mine, and that even though I've decided and I've told you I'm not going to be doing these two things, it's actually going to take another man's opinion and decision on my body whether or not we're going to have kids. Like, you must think I'm weak, I'm stupid. Which one is it? Choose one way to diss me. How are you going to choose all of them? I recommend you use this because although that person will never speak to you again, it does give you that chance to go head to head with someone who has like deep-rooted misogyny living in them. And honestly, those people need to be shutted up the most.
At 40, you're going to want kids. Stop saying y'all don't want kids. That's a damn lie.
I don't know about y'all, but it's been very, very entertaining to watch these men lose their ever-loving fucking minds. Knowing that all you have to do to piss a man off is to say you don't want marriage and kids. Chef's kiss. I have seen so many of these same types of videos of men coming on the internet telling us that we want marriage and kids. We want this, we want that, because if we don't want it, then we're just gonna die alone with 10 cats. I think the general consensus is that we are totally okay with cats. But why are you so paranoid and scared of a woman not needing you? Maybe you should go talk to the lady about that.
My biggest pet peeve as someone that is child-free is when people ask about kids, but not about my career or my accomplishments. I'm not even 30, and I'm a creative director of a top 1% Shopify brand, leading paid media creative strategy, and my part-time side business is making 6 figures this year. But go on, ask about my uterus.
No, for real, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because that's all y'all care about. That's all y'all care about. Oh, men don't care about your degrees. They don't care about this. They don't care about that. We don't give a care about. We're not doing it for them. Do you think a woman is going to put herself in student debt to get a bachelor's or a master's or a PhD for a man? No, bitch. She's doing that for herself. The problem is you think you're God's gift to women. Some of y'all think you're God's gift to women, so that's why you're confused on why a woman wouldn't center her life around you or revolve her life around you. Sure. You ain't all that. You ain't got the juice.
I always was someone who knew I didn't want to have kids, but then I turned 30. And after you turn 30, shit gets really real, because it does get harder for you to have a baby biologically. And before that, it was always like, oh, hope I'm not pregnant. Like I was actively avoiding babies. But then I was like, oh, my ability to do this thing is like slipping away. Do I actually not want kids? Or was I just not wanting kids at earlier times in my life? Now I'm 35. I still don't have kids. I don't want children. 14-year-old, 15-year-old me knew the truth. But to all my other child-free people, I just want to let you know, it's totally fine if you go through a period of being like, wait, do I really want this? Because kids are the ultimate decision. There's a no return policy on that. But also, for some of us, there is a clock. Double checking, doing a check-in with yourself doesn't mean you were lying to yourself earlier. It's always good to double check.
Not having kids is for selfish losers. Imagine all the generations before you that needed to have kids for your life and stopping the chain. Oh, you know what? If you think I'm a selfish loser, then I guess it's a good thing that I'm not having kids, right? Because why would you want a child to be raised by a selfish loser? Come on now, let's use our brain. Let's use logic here. And if my ancestors before me didn't have kids, thus breaking the chain, thus making it so I was never here, I'd be perfectly fine with that, because I wouldn't be alive, therefore I would not care. Also, I wouldn't be here having to pay all these goddamn bills. Being an adult is ghetto. I hate this. I have to work. I have to get up, go to work, come home every day, pay bills every month. Like, being an adult sucks. I did not ask for this. I did not ask to be here. And you know what? Maybe my ancestors shouldn't have had kids. It's their fault I'm here paying these goddamn bills.
Someone just told me to hurry up and have kids before it's too late. Too late for what? I'm 45 years old. I don't understand why people are still bothering me about having kids. I mean, menopause is right around the corner. Like, why do I have to have a kid now? I made the decision to go child-free in my mid to late 20s. It served me really well. I'm going to be honest. I wanted to be selfish. I wanted to do whatever I wanted all of the time. Don't get me wrong. I love kids. I love their energy. After the age of 5, toddlers seem like a lot of work. They're always screaming and they're always crying and puking, and I just couldn't. And how do you guys afford kids? I mean, really? Kids these days, you know, an 8-year-old wants a PS5. I went to the mall and some little kid had a better designer bag than me. I see a lot of moms struggling too, and frankly, I don't know what's worse. Struggling with trying to bring up upstanding citizens, them struggling with the constant exhaustion, them struggling with the expense. It's not for me. It absolutely is not for me. I never really wanted to be a mom. I don't think I have a biological clock. If you make the decision to be child-free, stick to it. Don't let anybody sway you, because they will try until you are lying in your coffin to make you have kids.
Okay, so those are some of the responses of women who have decided to be child-free. Now, personally, for me, I don't think it's anybody's business whether someone else wants to be child-free or not. Because at the end of the day, if someone says she doesn't want to have a child, let that person be. Because I'd rather someone say, I don't want to have a child, than have a child and not to train up that child well. And later on in the future, the child is causing commotion everywhere. We have people with bad parenting skills that have caused a lot of problem. I have a video where we are talking about the generation Alpha now being something else. Please check that video out. But the point is, it is their choice. It is their body. It is their choice. It's none of your business. And I don't understand why men are being bothered about that. It's not anybody's business, because at the end of the day, it's their body. Personally, for me, I would say I want kids. I'm not like them that don't want kids. I want kids, but I am so scared of the whole process. And the fact is, I think I'm scared of the process because I know too much about the process. Because I'm a pharmacist, I know the things that can go wrong, and that is scary as heck. There's postpartum depression, there's postpartum hemorrhage, there is gestational diabetes, there's pre-eclampsia, there's eclampsia, there's anemia. There's so many things that can happen when you're pregnant. There are also so many things that can happen when you're training your child. Do you know what to do if this something happens? How do you know when the child wants food? How do you know when the child wants to be changed? How do you know so many things? You'll be checking the child every minute so that you don't have, I think there's this thing called cot death or something like that. You'll be checking if the child will not have any genetic issue. It's so much stress to think about having a child. It's so much stress sometimes to think about raising a child. Do you raise a child to be a good person? Is the child going to be a good person? Is the child going to not have issue? Is the child going to go out and not come back? Is the child going to go to school and then one human being will decide to come and do and undo? There's so many things that you would worry about. And some people just don't want that extra worry. But personally, if God says yes, I would do it. But the amount of prayers that I started praying now for the future, because I don't want to get it wrong. I really don't want to get it wrong. So I seriously praying that everything goes well if God says yes, because at the end of the day, like someone said, some people are not going to be able to get pregnant, and if you have the blessing of getting pregnant, you praise God. But any which way, deciding to have a child or not have a child is a personal opinion, is a personal decision, and I don't think anybody is supposed to be concerned about another person's clock. It's none of your business. You live your own life, they live their own life, everybody's happy and nice. So that is my own personal opinion. I don't know what you guys think about the whole issue. Should men be concerned about women who have decided to be child-free? I know that there are some women who will be attacking some people that have decided to be child-free, but is that anybody's concern? If anybody has decided to be child-free, it's none of your business, in my own opinion. But I don't know what you guys think. I would love to hear your thoughts about the whole issue. Please leave your comments in the comment section. Let's get this discussion popping. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.